All right, guys, this is a very quick video. I'm trying to recharge for the week, so this is going to be a little bit more of a laid-back video where I just talk over some gameplay of mine from this past weekend of Trials. And I'm not trying to be negative because there's pretty much nothing bad that has come of Trials coming back to Destiny. If anything, it's for the PvE people that have zero interest in PvP that kind of didn't really get that much this season. But as someone who loves PvP and pretty much only plays PvP, the gameplay for Trials is completely fine. There's nothing really wrong with it. They made it so that between rounds you alternate spawns, which is really good because in Destiny 1 a lot of the match depended on what spawn you got, especially depending on what map you had. Some maps there were just, you know, the two different spawns, one of them was a lot better than the other one, so it's really good that they balanced it that way. If I was being super nitpicky and had one complaint, it would maybe be that revives are a little bit too fast, but that's not really too big of an issue. The main thing that kind of sucked for me is that they made a Vidoc saying that they really wanted to take their time with bringing Trials back because they wanted to make sure they did it right. But if you look at what Trials is right now, nothing has really changed besides a few minor things. On top of that, if you look at the rewards, it's copy and paste or recycle of all the stuff that we got when Trials first came out in Destiny 1. Of course, the game is different now, so perk rolls and everything will be different, but as far as like looking at the armor and thinking it looks really cool and wanting to get it, there's no real new desire there, at least for me. And if there is any desire, it's most likely fueled entirely by nostalgia. The main reason I kind of have an issue for this is for my thumbnails, they require 3D modeling, right? So there's 3D models for all the different armor sets, and I'm constantly looking through them to decide which one I should use for a thumbnail. And I'm always looking at new armor sets, and I'll find armor sets and think they're really cool, and I ask my Twitter feed, how do I get this piece of armor? 90% of the time it's, oh, you buy that one from the Eververse store. So if they're constantly coming out with this Eververse stuff with cool new armor sets, I'm not too sure why they felt the need to recycle armor sets from Destiny 1. Now, it might have been they didn't even want to be lazy. It's simply they thought that bringing back those old sets would build more hype, which is completely valid, and I get that. But at least for me personally, I would be more excited by chasing new stuff. As long as they come out with new sets of weapons and armor somewhat soon, it shouldn't be too big of an issue. But generally, when you look at when they change Trials armor and weapon loot pools, it takes a very long time, roughly around like a year for them to change the different loot pools. So I don't really think we're going to be getting anything new until Destiny 4 if they operate at that same pace. Hopefully in like a season or two, they come out with a new set of Trials stuff. That would be preferred. I totally get it for Trials coming back now. It's completely fine that they used old stuff, but if that's all we're getting, then it will kind of be disappointing. Luckily though, even though all the gear and weapons are pretty much the same, the good thing about Trials is that it's a different experience every weekend. They changed the loot pools for every weekend, so like you could only get the scout and fusion this week. So whatever weekend has the hand cannon or the sniper, that's going to be a popular week. The gameplay experience also changes drastically depending on which map you play. Some maps are really good for sniping and others are really good for shotgunning. They all play different, especially in a game mode like Trials. It might not be as different in something like Rumble, but when you play Trials, the gameplay experience is definitely different depending on the map. So that's really all I'm disappointed by. Like I said, if I were to complain about anything in game, it would perhaps be that reses are too fast. And then on top of that, it's just, there's not really a lot for me to chase personally in terms of armor sets. I know that the weapons will be different because there's different perks and everything, but I'm just not really that excited about getting them. So leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I totally get if you disagree with me. This is just where I'm coming from. And if you enjoyed this video, the best way of supporting it is by dropping a like. I hope everyone's runs went well this weekend, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Peace.